All right, so let's just cut the crap and dive right into this goddamn shitstorm of info about Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
You wanted the dirt on the dude behind Ice. Ice Baby.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got like a fucking encyclopedia's worth of details here from Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
From his wacky-ass childhood to the peak of his fame, those legal clusterfucks, and what the hell he's even doing now.
Right.
So buckle up, Buttercup.
Buckle up.
Because this ride's going to be wilder than a greased-up weasel in a Waffle House.
What's wild is how Vanilla Ice, this goofy-ass white dude, just crashed into the world of hip-hop when it was still raw and underground, like first white rapper to hit it big.
Yeah.
Talk about a shit ton of baggage.
Seriously.
We're going to unpack how he dealt with his struggles with fame and the crazy-ass reinventions that he pulled off.
So Vanilla Ice, a.k.a. Robert Van Winkle.
Robert Van Winkle.
What a name.
What a name.
Starts out in Dallas, born in '67. Never knew his real dad took his stepdad's name. Sounds like his childhood was a bit of a dumpster fire bouncing between Dallas and Miami.
Yeah, and it was in those cities, those melting pots of culture and chaos that he got hooked on. Hip-hop, the rhythm, the poetry, the raw energy. It grabbed him by the balls.
Right.
By 13, he's breakdancing, earning the nickname Vanilla because he was the only white kid in his crew.
Fuck, talk about standing out like a dog's bollocks in a church choir.
Yeah.
But he owned it, right? Formed his own crew, Vanilla Ice Posse, even though he apparently hated the name.
Hated it.
Started performing at this club in Dallas called City Lights.
City Lights, that's where it all began. That's where shit gets real. He's opening for some of the biggest names in hip-hop, NWA, Public Enemy, even MC Hammer.
Wow.
He's soaking it all up, honing his skills, stealing the show. And then in '89, boom, he drops his first album, Hooked.
But it's that B-side Ice Baby that blows up and turns the music world on its fucking head.
That's the one.
Some DJ in Georgia spins it by accident.
By accident.
And the phones light up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, this white rapper with the catchiest as hell tune is all anyone's talking about.
Oh, and it wasn't just the tune. The dude could move the video for Ice Baby, shows off his breakdancing skills. And he's rocking this clean-cut boy next door look that MTV just ate up.
Yeah, he was kind of dreamy back then, gotta admit it.
Dreamy.
Girls were throwing themselves at him. Hell, he even dated Madonna for a while.
Madonna!
Can you believe that shit?
It was a goddamn tornado of fame.
It was.
He signs with SBK Records. They repackage Hooked as To the Extreme.
To the extreme.
And it becomes the fastest-selling hip-hop album ever, charts. He was topping them.
Wow.
The world. He was touring it, insane, doesn't even begin to cover it.
Talk about a rocket ride to the top.
A rocket ride.
But then, this is where the shit hits the fan.
Oh, yeah.
This massive success brought a whole new level of bullshit.
You got that right. People started accusing him of exploiting hip-hop, being a manufactured pop star. And then there's the whole controversy with Ice Baby, sampling Queen and David Bowie's Under Pressure without permission.
Yeah, that was some shady-ass shit they settled at in court. But it definitely left a stain on his reputation.
For sure.
And to top it off, his label cooked up this fake-ass backstory to make him seem more
street cred.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
It was a PR nightmare. He was caught in a web of lies, and the backlash was brutal.
Brutal.
Critics ripped him apart. Other rappers called him a sellout. It was open season on Vanilla Ice.
Damn, that's got to fuck with your head going from hero to zero like that.
Yeah.
Like the whole world turned on him overnight.
It did. Man, this is where things start to spiral for Vanilla Ice. Heavy drug use, a suicide attempt. The dude was in a dark place.
Fuck, that's heavy.
It is.
But hold up, didn't he pull himself out of that hole and make some kind of comeback?
Comeback?
I vaguely remember hearing some of his later stuff was actually pretty hardcore.
You're right. After hitting rock bottom, Vanilla Ice decided to blow up his whole image and start over.
Wow.
Ditched the pop star look, grew dreadlocks, and dove headfirst into a more rock-infused sound.
Talk about a fucking 180. But then to make it even weirder, he hooks up with this metalhead producer, Ross Robinson.
Ross Robinson.
The guy who worked with bands like Korn and Deftones?
Yeah.
What the hell is he thinking?
It might sound crazy, but it actually makes sense. Think about it. Ice was spitting out all this anger and pain, but this time, through a different genre, it was like artistic evolution. Even if it didn't exactly set the charts on fire, his 1998 album, Hard to Swallow, showed a much darker, more aggressive side of him.
So he's basically screaming his demons out through metal. That's kind of badass, actually.
It is.
But wait a minute, didn't he end up doing reality TV too? That seems like a million miles away from headbanging.
Yeah, he did this show called The Vanilla Ice Project about flipping houses.
Flipping houses.
It was a surprise hit. And ran for 9 seasons on the DIY networks. Go figure.
Who would have guessed that the Ice Baby dude would end up as a goddamn home renovation guru?
I know, right?
Life is fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
But let's be real. This guy also seems to attract trouble. Like a magnet attracts metal shavings, arrests, assault charges, and even some bizarre-ass incident with a Wallaroo of all things.
It's like a reminder that fame and fortune don't exactly come with a lifetime warranty.
No.
There's often a dark side.
A dark side.
And his legal troubles have been well documented, adding another layer of what the fuck to his story.
Seriously, the dude can't seem to stay out of trouble a goddamn Wallaroo. What the hell is he thinking?
That's just one bizarre-ass footnote in a life full of them. But despite the ups and downs, the controversies, and the legal shitstorms, Vanilla Ice has managed to stay relevant in one way or another.
So after digging through all this crap, what's the verdict on Vanilla Ice? Is he just a washed-up one-hit wonder? Or is there more to him than meets the eye?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? He's a complicated dude, a walking contradiction, celebrated and ridiculed, embraced and rejected. It's all part of his story, but one thing's for damn sure. The dude's a survivor.
A survivor.
He is. He's a survivor. That's for damn sure a cockroach. He just can't kill. You know, speaking of survivors, we were talking about his music and how he went from pop to something a little harder.
Right.
That 1998 album, Hard to Swallow, is it actually any good?
Yeah, good is a matter of opinion, I guess.
Right.
But it was a total left turn from his earlier shit.
A total turn.
All that anger and angst and those distorted guitars. It was a different beast altogether.
It was. And I think it's important to note that Vanilla Ice actually played some instruments in the studio for that album, bass, drums, keyboards.
Oh, really?
Whether those tracks actually made it onto the final cut is debatable, but he was trying to do more than just rap.
So he wasn't just some studio puppet, huh? He was actually trying to be a musician.
Right.
I guess you got to give him some credit for that.
It was like he was trying to shed that Vanilla Ice skin and become something new.
Right.
Something real.
Speaking of shedding skin, let's talk about his style.
His style.
If you can even call it that, what the hell was up with those parachute pants and that sideways baseball cap?
Hey, it was the early 90s, man.
Early 90s.
That was the look back then, the baggy clothes, neon colors. It was all about being flashy.
Right.
And Vanilla Ice.
He was the king of flash.
King of Flash, yeah.
But looking back, it's aged about as well as a banana in a sock drawer.
Oh, fashion's a fickle bitch.
Yeah.
What's cool one day is a dumpster fire the next.
True enough. But even back then, there was something about his whole look that just screamed trying too hard.
I'm trying too hard.
Like he was playing dress-up in hip-hop culture.
And that goes back to that bigger question of his authenticity.
Right.
Was he a genuine innovator?
Right.
Or was he just mimicking a culture that wasn't his own?
The whole cultural appropriation thing, it's a minefield.
It is.
Especially in hip-hop where authenticity is king.
Absolutely. And it's a debate that's still raging today. Can a white artist ever truly be authentic in a genre that's rooted in Black culture? There's no easy answer.
Nope. Let's move on from that heavy shit for a minute and talk about something a little more entertaining.
More entertaining.
You mentioned earlier that he had a thing with Madonna.
Oh, yeah, Madonna.
What the hell was that all about?
It was back in the early 90s when he was at the peak of his fame.
At the peak?
They dated for about 8 months.
8 months.
And there are even pictures of him in her sex book. You know, the one that caused all that controversy.
No shit. Madonna and Vanilla Ice?
Madonna and Vanilla Ice.
That's like the ultimate odd couple.
The ultimate odd couple.
What the hell did she see in him?
Who knows? Maybe it was the bad boy image or the fame, or maybe she just had a thing for goofy white rappers.
Goofy white rappers.
We'll never know for sure.
Maybe she saw something in him that nobody else did.
Maybe.
Like maybe he was a secret genius, a poet trapped in a rapper's body.
Yeah.
Yeah, who am I kidding?
Hey, crazier things have happened, but let's be real. Their relationship was probably more about the spectacle than anything else.
Yeah.
2 huge stars colliding. It was tabloid gold.
Yeah, back when tabloids actually mattered.
Yeah.
Now it's all about social media drama and clickbait headlines.
True, but even in today's world, Vanilla Ice still knows how to grab attention.
He does.
He's got that reality show. He's still touring. He's even popped up in a few movies.
Speaking of movies, didn't he star in that god-awful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel? The one with Ninja Rap.
That's the one. And to his credit, he seems to have embraced that part of his past. He performs ninja rap at his shows, and he even reprised his role as himself in that Adam Sandler comedy, That's My Boy.
Got to give him props for that. The dude doesn't seem to take himself too seriously.
No, he doesn't.
He's willing to laugh at himself. which is more than I can say for a lot of celebrities.
Maybe it's his survival tactic. If you can't escape the cheese, you might as well own it.
Yeah, you might as well spread it on a cracker and chow down. Okay, so we've talked about his music, his questionable fashion choices, his love life, and his brief stint in Hollywood.
Right.
But let's not forget about his colorful legal history.
Right.
This guy's been arrested for everything from assault to grand theft.
It's a rap sheet as long as your arm.
Seriously.
He's had run-ins with the law throughout his career, and it seems like he has a talent for finding trouble.
I mean, a pet wallaroo. Seriously.
One pet wallaroo.
How do you even get a wallaroo, let alone let it escape and terrorize a whole neighborhood?
Some questions are better left unanswered. But his legal troubles definitely add another layer to his persona.
For sure.
He's not just a cheesy rapper. He's a cheesy rapper with a penchant for chaos.
Yeah, he's like a walking, talking train wreck. You can't look away, even though, it's probably going to end badly.
It's the rubbernecking effect. You shouldn't stare, but you just can't help yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of admire his ability to bounce back. Like I said, he's a cockroach. You just can't kill him.
That's one way to put it. But hey, maybe there's a lesson to be learned from Vanilla Ice's life. Maybe it's that no matter how low you sink, you can always find a way to reinvent yourself.
Or maybe it's just that fame is fleeting, and sometimes it's better to embrace the absurdity of it all than to fight against it.
Deep thoughts, man. Deep thoughts. But before we get too philosophical, let's talk about something a little more concrete.
All right.
What the hell is Vanilla Ice doing these days?
Well, as we mentioned before, he's still touring, still making music. He's also still flipping houses, and the Vanilla Ice project is actually pretty damn popular.
So he went from rapping about rolling my 5.0 to actually renovating them. That's kind of poetic in a twisted way.
It's like life imitating art, or maybe art imitating life.
Right.
Who the hell knows?
Who knows?
But it seems like he's found his niche and he's running with it.
Good for him. I guess there's hope for all of us washed up has-beens. Yeah, maybe I'll start a reality show about collecting vintage corn mags.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
True.
You never know what might resonate with an audience.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from the highs of Ice Baby to the lows of those legal battles and everything in between.
Everything in between.
What's clear is that Vanilla Ice is a complex dude with a wild-ass story.
Absolutely. He's a walking, talking paradox.
Right.
A white raver who conquered the pop charts, a one-hit wonder who reinvented himself time and time again, a dude who's been both celebrated and ridiculed, embraced and rejected.
And through it all, he's never lost that ability to entertain.
Never.
Whether he's rapping, flipping the houses, or just being his goofy-ass self.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice always keeps things interesting.
He's a reminder that life is unpredictable and often absurd, and sometimes the best way to deal with that absurdity is to embrace it with open arms.
So we pretty much dissected this dude's entire life.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, the ugly, the mute.
The Madonna fling.
The Madonna fling. Even the goddamn wallaroo. Did we miss anything?
I think we hit all the major milestones, from street performer to global superstar, battling those controversies and backlashes, reinventing himself like a goddamn chameleon. Vanilla Ice has had one hell of a ride.
He's like a goddamn phoenix rising from the ashes of his own dumpster fires. So after all this digging, what's the final verdict? Is Vanilla Ice a joke, a visionary, or is he somewhere in between?
That's the thing, isn't it? He's like impossible to pin down. A white rapper who dominated the pop charts, a pop star who embraced metal, a one-hit wonder who stayed relevant for decades. The dude is a walking contradiction.
He's a cultural enigma.
Yeah.
A shapeshifter. A goddamn ninja of reinvention. Who else could go from spitting rhymes about Ice Baby to hosting a home renovation show?
It shows his resilience, his hustle, and maybe even his twisted sense of humor. He doesn't shy away from the absurdity of it all. He dives in head first.
And that's what makes him so goddamn fascinating.
Yeah.
He's living proof that life is full of surprises, and sometimes the most unexpected paths lead to the most interesting destinations.
He's a cautionary tale, a success story, and a never-ending source of entertainment.
Right.
All wrapped up in one frosted-tipped package.
Love him or hate him, there's no denying Vanilla Ice has left his mark on the world.
He has.
So what's the takeaway here? What can we learn from the wild-ass saga of Vanilla Ice?
Maybe it's that authenticity isn't about where you come from, but about what you do with the platform you've got. Maybe it's that resilience and adaptability are the keys to surviving the fickle bitch that is fame.
Right.
Or maybe it's just that life's too short to take yourself too seriously.
Damn, that's some profound shit right there. I think I need a drink after all this Vanilla Ice talk.
You do.
But seriously, folks, That's a wrap on our deep dive into the life and times of the one and only Vanilla Ice. We laughed, we cringed, we pondered the mysteries of the universe.
We did.
All thanks to this one frosted tip dude.
If nothing else, you gotta admire the guy's ability to keep us talking, even after all these years. He's a cultural icon, a cautionary tale, and a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead to the most entertaining destinations.
Word. Until next time, stay frosty, and remember, if life throws you a curveball, just grab a microphone, some parachute pants, and reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
You never know where you might end up.